All right, we're live. Pebble Beach. My good friend Kyle Huey Mack, host of Chalk Dirty to Me. One of the greatest golf podcasts around. Kyle, how are you tonight? I know you've been looking forward to this for quite some time.
I'm doing well. I appreciate the invite back on. Been busy with work, but have kind of been using this as just like my light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
kind of keep me focused on something. I want to say thank you for the bump from the Bermuda Butterfield to Pebble Beach. I appreciate that. I'm kind of joking, kind of being entirely serious. I don't mind talking dog shit field events. Me, I'm a total degen when it comes to this type of stuff. But I appreciate you being even though you kind of let me choose the spot, I appreciate you letting me come on for Pebble Week.
Yeah, no, you're just like a coastal guy. You're just best on kind of coastal, wind exposed, shorter tracks. That's kind of where I like to utilize you in the schedule. Everyone kind of has their spots, and I just think you have a more coastal, wind exposed guy. But yeah, quite the come up for you, Kyle. I'm happy for you that you are you're moving up in the world. It's good. It's good news.
I appreciate it. Work's been crazy, so it's been harder to kind of do this stuff. I mean, you and I and I'm always talking.
Everyone knows we have important desk jobs. Everyone knows this.
9 to 5. We're capitalistic pigs.
It's tough out here, man.
It's tough
out here. That's why I'm not sharing with the booze with you tonight. I just got a lime LaCroix. Dude, if I have 1 or 2 beers on a weekday night, my productivity level at work the next day just goes down by 15%. And it's already hard enough for me to focus for a full day. I really not to make this a work podcast, but I as you know, I don't text early in the morning. I don't know if you noticed that, but I don't turn my phone on until 9:45, 10. I don't like going on my phone early in the morning because I feel that's all I'm already so addicted to my phone and I hate it. But I feel if you wake up and start scrolling, it kills your day. So I like to go into work 8:30, 8:45 and grind for an hour, hour and a half. And then I'll turn my phone on, 10 texts from Kyle, 10 texts from probably more, usually more texts from you. I just bet Seamus Power 300 to 1, just the most ridiculous wagers. But I always am kind of waiting for that. I know when I turn my phone on, I'll have some texts from Kyle just dissecting the board.
So it's funny because I was legitimately after I've noticed you in the morning sometimes you're not as quick to respond, and I was just when you started to say that, the question I was going to ask was and then you said I have 10 texts from Kyle. I was just going to say on average how many texts do you have from this?
No, it's good, and
I'm overwhelming.
The group chat with Andy has worked out really well because I'm not going to text you all day. I'm not going to text Andy all day. You're not going to text. It just works out well. The three of us. I think it's helped both of our friendships out. But Kyle, we truly this year we need to go to an NFL game because we need to complete the sports cycle. We've been to an NHL game, we've been to a baseball game, we've been to a basketball game. We have to complete it with an NFL game this year. So a lot of people don't know this about me. I've never been to an NFL football game, not once in my life. Never been to an NFL football game.
I'm bringing you to the game next
year. I'm down Giants early in the season, though.
Before the season's over, which is quickly typically.
No. I'm not going when it's cold.
Oh, okay. I got
September, October, Giant game. I'm down.
Done. Hopefully there's some hope on the horizon. I can't get into that tonight. The Giants next season plans. We can text that out with Andy. But I'm not ready for that yet. I am ready for Pebble. I'm ready to shoot the shit with you as always. It's always a pleasure. I know you guys I can be overwhelming, as I say to everybody. I just like get something in my head and like I have to tell people, and like I think you guys appreciate it and put up with it, which I really like. So I'm texting you sometimes in the mornings, like when I'm looking through the boards. I haven't even made a bet. I just see a number and I just like put it in the chat.
You're like Lee Hodges 400 to 1. It's like, dude, like why is Lee Hodges 400 to 1? Like those are always my favorite. But no, we are both very passionate about golf and both passionate about golf betting and DFS. And I really enjoy that because there's a lot of people, a few people in my life that we just love golf. Like we just love talking about golf betting. And, that's been a big part of, being on Twitter and doing all this podcast and stuff. Like it's really great to meet a bunch of people that just are truly passionate about betting on like the most random sport in the world. So last week, Farmers Insurance Open. Look, I know I said that to you, and it's obviously easier said than done. But you betting Pavon like 150 to 1, you should have been on him. That is your guy, like random Euro that has no chance to win, but is playing well and would make me laugh if you bet him on a Monday. That's your guy. And I wouldn't be saying this if you didn't play him in DraftKings and like a decent amount of your lineups. Are you half Vic lapping Pavon? Should you have been on him? Like where do you kind of net out on your guy Pavon last week?
I was 9x the field him in DFS and I didn't bet him, which is tough. But I kind of looked at it like the Harman situation. Like I think I've told you about this. Like Harman last year at the Open, Brian Kirshner hit that flex. But no, all jokes aside, he was such a key part of my DFS lineup. But I really didn't think he was gonna I just didn't think he was gonna win.
Lock for a T12.
Like lock for a T12. And I kind of thought the same thing with Pavone. And like if you actually like just take out the fact that he was playing on the DP World Tour and just look at the results, like don't even look at how he's hitting the ball, look at where he's finishing. It was like insane, like the run he was on. Like and it's a lot of guys like dip after their win a little bit. Like look at like Ricky, for example. Like there's one. He won. There's many like that. But he won, and then like he continued the good play. He came over first two events, played really well. Top 10, one of them.
He won Sony. Like I remember seeing him around the Sony leaderboard. Like okay, this guy's got some game,
and he hit the ball really well. Like if you look like on top of the fact that he was finishing whatever. So I can't Vic lap any DFS last week. I had some great lineups, as you know, but I locked Colin Morikawa. If he wasn't paired with Cantlay, I think I would have won the entire $5. I would have taken the entire thing down probably. So that's fine though. I'm willing to you have your spike weeks and you have your weeks. And a lot of people, the thing is like you have those lineups and you're like, oh, if I just had this one guy, there's so many other lineups out there like that week that are the exact same way.
Exactly. So everyone has those guys, but truly the leaderboard was, pretty terrible if you weren't like Ryan Baroff. Like it wasn't a leaderboard that was really super intriguing or anything. And, of all the losers at the top of the leaderboard, Pavon, I thought had absolutely no chance, like zero chance. Like I was kind of looking at it and I remember thinking, I'm like, okay, Jaeger's at 12, Pavon's at 11, but I'm like, Pavon's not actually at 11. Doesn't count. Like he's not.
We were actually joking. We were like making that joke in the chat, like last week. Because I was like, somebody's in the lead and you were like, no, that's not the actual lead. Like the actual lead's like.
That's not. And then some dude messaged me Friday night. He's like, who do you think's winning tomorrow? I'm like, Pavon by 7. And then he replies like, dude, like, thanks so much. I'm like, that was a joke. That wasn't a real answer. That was a joke. But I guess I can kind of Vic lap that one.
I have a take though. I have like something I want to talk about.
Okay.
So it's two things. Yes, this was not as exciting of a Farmers Insurance Open as we've seen in the past. And And part of that, like I think that was less to do. This is like kind of my take, and then I did want to I wanted to say something about Pavon that I think he deserves. But if you look, like the problem with this week wasn't the field. The field was actually pretty good, and like if you look, the problem was the guys who were good weren't in contention. Because like if you look at where so take away Pavone, Hojgaard, Jaeger, Lashley, Knapp, Carl Huon, Bo Hossler. That's the top 7, which is absurd. Like
not Carl Huon, Kevin Yu. You mean
Kevin Yu? Sorry, they have it as ca.u.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway, but after that, like so that part of the leaderboard totally good. That is not a good leaderboard, like at all. Like that's a horrible leaderboard. And Dietrich was up there for a while, but right below that, so like Finau finishes 6th, Penders finishes 9th, Oberg finishes 9th. Schauffele finishes 9th. Decky finishes 13th. Zalatoris finishes 13th. So there's like the big names. Homa 13th. Akshay 13th. Like there was a lot of big names. They just what happened was the guys who like weren't big names were the guys in contention. So I felt like people were like, oh, this field's shit, whatever. And maybe it wasn't as good as the other years, but I didn't really think it was a shit field. When it came out, I was actually like, I thought it was a pretty good field, all things considered for Torrey. Pause, transition, start. Pavone, like I feel like because of the fact that we've had 4 now, like long shot winners, like the Pavone, like it kind of took away from like how great of a victory Pavone's victory was in my opinion. And like his shot on 18, all
insane. Absolutely insane. The odds of him winning that in regulation were so low. That was the most least likely outcome when he was in the rough and Højgaard was on the green putting for eagle. The most least likely scenario in the entire world that he wins in regulation.
99 times out of 100, like that goes to a playoff. Like, you know what I mean?
Or he just loses and Højgaard wins. Yeah.
So I genuinely don't think there was a player on any player on tour could have hit a shot like better than he did in that moment. And it was that moment, right? Like he just went bunker rough with after missing a 4-footer on 17.
Yeah.
Which I cut him some slack for, not because
he made a 30-footer. So
I was also going to say guys were missing 4-footers, like not just Pavone, like all week. Like everybody was. Ludwig, I think I saw a stat that he missed 6 putts under 5 feet last week, which is insane.
So he won. If you have the tickets,
exactly. If you had a Ludwig ticket, you should be disputing the bet with DraftKings or whoever your bookmaker is. But yeah, I felt like because it was 150-1, because it was 4th week in a row that it like wasn't this like big name guy, because it's a little bit of fatigue, because I think that the fields, generally speaking, people are finally starting to look at how many names have gone over to live and be like, wow, these fields, like it's fine, but like they're not as good as they used to be. I feel like there was some stuff taken away from the win, and I just thought the sequence from missing a 4-foot putt to going rough bunker, sticking it.
Such a hard. It's like one of the hardest shots on the course. It wasn't like he was 110 out. It wasn't like it was 155 out, and no one's in that rough at all. That's not a place anyone hits from. And to put it to 6 feet, like that was just crazy. Like people don't even get it that close.
Not even an easy
from the
putt,
fairway.
Too. Not an easy putt either. Like it was a bender, like a downhill bender. Like it was 6 feet, but like it was not, especially to win the tournament. So I said what I needed to say with Pavon. I just wanted to give him a little.
I want to give, and at the end of the day, Ryder Cup snub. Like this is at the end of the day, we've seen a lot of people kind of be the 13th or 14th man on the team and then go out and win. Pavon, yeah. I mean, you want to talk about the guy that should have been in Rome. Tweet of the week was easily PGA tout. You don't leave Pavone at home.
You do not leave Pavone at home.
You can't leave him at home. Like he has to be at Bethpage. That was actually the funniest tweet ever. That was just so funny, just for a very niche golf community. Like we need this guy in Bethpage. You can't leave him at home.
If Højgaard wins, this was my other last thing I meant to mention about this tournament. If Højgaard wins, don't you think there's a totally different story? Like this young and up and comer, like what a great win. Like another, big name.
Højgaard's very good at golf. I'll give him that.
Good.
I'll give him that. He's good at golf. Do we have any major future numbies?
I checked. He's 100-1 at the Open. It's the only one I saw him at. That is not like
the Open.
Yes,
like,
that is not the best line either. I checked because you've converted me. You've made me a better person. The only place I checked when I was checking this was DraftKings, because I was probably thinking exactly what you were thinking. I was like, fucking Hojgaard finished second at the Farmers Insurance. Like, he can win a fucking.
He can absolutely win. I think blind bet, like, we just nuke Hojgaard at every major. I don't know. He could win the U.S. Open.
He probably could. The thing is, like,
he'll be in it. I say we load up on Hojgaard futures. I think it's a blind bet. Genuinely, though. Like, I'm in. Like, Scotty Scheffler played well at the Ryder Cup, won a major. Hojgaard, it's kind of the same story.
I agree
a little bit.
Empty the bank account.
The Peach. I heard Mayo was talking about it on his show, just to show how unbelievable the season has been. No one has picked a winner in the race to the Mayo Cup. Like, the 4 people got first place money because they picked Bez, and the only reason he got the money was because Dunlap was an amateur. So I think there's, I don't know how many people, like 8,000 times 4. Not a single person actually picked the winner of the event. So it's fine. It's okay that we haven't, hit a winner. We've been close. The process has been good.
God.
But it's kind of weird that no one on golf Twitter can Vic lap. Because, and I talked about it on Andy's pod, like, it almost makes me feel a little bit better because no one is doing well. Like, I don't have to see anyone like post tickets or anything. It's just like, yeah, no, I guess we're all just losing money. And the winner at the end of the day are the sports books. They've just been cleaning up this season. They've just been making money hand over fist.
This is the first week I'm giving I never tip my cap to the sports books. Fuck the sports books. We're trying to kill the sports books. We're trying to put them out of business.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to feed our kids, trying to pay the bills. You know all that. But this week, FanDuel at least had great lines for Pep, I thought.
Shout out FanDuel.
Fuck the DraftKings lines. Ben on at one point today was 35-1 on DraftKings. So DraftKings, take that for what it's worth and shove it up your ass. And just
you're out on DK.
I mean, it's just like every week I feel like the lines on FanDuel have been better for golf this year anyway than they have been on DraftKings. And I don't think that's always been the case, but what do I know? So
it's tough. I think the lines really are, I don't think the lines are really that bad in general this week. Like, I think there are some pretty good numbers. I don't think I think the only person, there's only a few people that you're really like priced out of, like Xander at 14 and like Ben on. And yeah, I think those are really the only 2 where it's like, okay, like those are just kind of, I want to bet these guys, but they're just kind of at unattractive numbers. But I think really everyone else, you could easily make the case that their prices is fair this week.
Definitely. I was also going to say back to your stuff about like the nobody picking winners. Like, it's been so random that like Pavone's the only one that like I think was somewhat justifiable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like Kirk, I think Wiley had Kirk. Shouts to him on that. But like
shout out Tom Jacobs. Shout out Tom Jacobs.
Great lad.
Proper bloke,
sharp FRL better, which I respect the hell out of.
We gotta get it. We gotta get Assad this week. It's like midnight in London town.
We'll get him. We'll get him on the the bat buzzer or whatever. So
yeah.
But yeah, like this year's been so random that like there's been people like very small sample size people that have picked like the winners, but like it's not like a year like you're like, fuck, I wish I bet, like I should have bet that guy.
Yeah, because you always can justify yourself into betting someone under 100-1, and I haven't felt that. And there's nothing really worse than betting a guy over another guy and he wins, or structuring your card one way and then you would have been on him. Or like some idiot on Twitter hits an outright and you have to hear him talk about it for 5 weeks. Like, that sucks. Like, I'm out on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that, the runs I had early in the year weren't it. Because as I've talked about, you don't really always get a sweat. You don't usually always get someone like below 2-1 to win a golf tournament. So I'm hoping that wasn't it. and we could get some winners. But, you know, I think it will be good for the golf betting community if you know, fucking Alex Noren doesn't win this week. Like, I think that would be good. Like, if someone under 100 that people are on, even if someone will be on, there's a case for everybody under 100. So I'm hoping, you know, we get our, you know, our feet wet a little bit this week and get a little bit of money.
Especially with Liv Mayakoba opposite, like they need a big week.
And you know, I'm doubled up. I've been talking to my guy Coxat for Liv.
You hammied Caleb Surratt, right?
What? No, I mean, dude, it's fucking Vincent Norman. Like, it's not Vincent Norman. What's his name? What's
Kieran Vincent's brother.
Kieran Vincent.
Or no, it is Kieran Vincent. Scott Vincent's brother.
Scott Vincent. I actually like him this week. I think it's a good course fit. But Liv Mayakoba, that's later in the pod.
Yep.
Pebble Beach, elevated event, out on Monterey Peninsula, only Spyglass. There's probably not. I'm worried about the. I would not like to be the tournament director this week. Like, that's all I'll say. I would not like to be the person in charge of working around the weather this week because it's terrible. There are some serious concerns that they're not going to play 72 holes. What have your weather models been showing you? Are we going to get a lot of stoppage Thursday through Saturday? Do you think they could play on Sunday? Monday's also shit. Like, do you think it's going to be delayed before Sunday is basically my question.
So I just refreshed the weather.
Okay.
And this is part of the problem with trying to predict weather. I mean, the weather right now, this is the certain, like what I'm telling you now is certain to happen from a weather. Like, so lock your lineups for DFS right now based off of the Tuesday weather projections because nothing's going to change. I'm just joking, but I thought this week was a week this is kind of being massively overblown, I think. Like, so I just refreshed it, and like I'm only saying that now because I can say Sunday now with the winds that were showing 60 gusts are topping out at 28. To me, it looks like they could probably, like, if they wanted to throw them out in 28 mile per hour gusts, actually they could. If not, Mondays calm down significantly as well. So
hell yeah.
Those 50 to 60 mile per hour winds are, like, according to this forecast, which again, weather changes.
Yeah.
Gonna put that on the bulletin board or whatever. But it looks a lot better. Also, like, I feel like people were like looking at Sunday's weather and like applying it to all the other days and like, oh my God, like this is gonna be this, fucking crazy tournament. Like, there's no win Thursday, no win Friday, no win Saturday.
So Colin could win.
It's going to be cold and rainy. Colin could win. I don't think he's going to win. Okay. Kira Dixon picked Colin on.
You got a little crush on Kira.
Yeah, but she's married, but that doesn't work.
And you're a respectful guy. You're not gonna
I wish the best for her. I wish the best for her.
No, for sure.
Yeah. But if things don't work out,
so you're guaranteeing 72 holes.
I think there's going to be seven. I think based off of what I'm seeing now, there's going to be 72 holes.
Yeah, no, because that's worst case scenario for the PGA Tour. It's like, what could be the worst case scenario through 5 weeks? It's like 4 no-name winners and then Pebble, where everyone is,
54.
Gets massive delays, 54 holes. Like, that would be terrible. So I really don't want that to happen this week. I would like to watch golf on Sunday. I'm excited to watch golf this week. Saturday, it's just going to be a great viewing day. Like,
yes,
clearing out the schedule. Like, we're debuting and we're watching Pebble on CBS. Like, that is what I'm looking forward to.
I was so hoping you were going to be in Hoboken Saturday. Like,
dude, I was going to be in the Boaks.
I know.
Like the Boaks was calling my name, but
that's
we're not going to make it to the Boaks. But we'll see. Let's get into this odds board. Scotty, Rory, both 8.5 to 1. Neither of us are betting them. I really don't know many people that are venturing up top here. I'm excited to see Scotty play this course. I think he'll play well. I don't think he'll win, but I can see him, putting on a pretty good show and missing a bunch of 8-footers. But he's never played here. I mean, this is not an event he's played at all. I don't think he was in the 2019 U.S. Open. but this is not the week I would bet him. I wouldn't really bet him ever, but this is definitely not a week where I'm going to venture up to bet him. Rory, what are your thoughts on Rory? You've been trying to sell me on Rory. I'm completely out of Rory. He has zero chance to win this tournament. Rory, this is when Rory wins, okay? Rory wins the week before a major or the event before a major. He has 3 wins in the past 3 years the week before a major. He won Wells Fargo, he won the Scottish Open, and he won the Canadian Open. So he keeps winning weeks before majors. He wins on Fazio courses, and he wins like the FedEx Cup playoffs. This checks none of those boxes. I'm out 100% on Rory this week. I don't think he has a great showing, to be honest.
So I didn't bet him. My first hot take, thank you again for having me. I think Rory McIlroy could win this golf tournament.
Fuck.
I'm not betting him, but I think Rory McIlroy could win this golf tournament.
Okay.
I think he's playing so well. I agree with what you're saying about the type of tournaments he wins, but this is a type of tournament Rory wins as well. Like a fucking big dick, not major event. Like in the middle of in the start of the season, and then people until Augusta, Rory won Pebble, hype gets built up. You know, he becomes the favorite at the Masters, whatever. Like I can just see it happening. I don't think like I get the, you know, there's certain courses where guys are, you know, just like Torrey Pines, like John Rahm and Rory obviously have massive advantages there. I just think like there's guys who doesn't fucking matter what course they're on. Like it just doesn't. And I know you're not arguing that, but I just think he's playing so well. He's great with his wedges. He can putt. He's great around like he doesn't have a weakness in his game. Scotty's putter actually looks crippling. I'll come here and say Scotty's not going to win, but Rory can win. I'm not.
Okay. I'm actually going to look into Scheffler. Actually, no, probably not, because I just don't think Rory will win, but I'm sure he can play well. What are your thoughts on Hovland?
Here at the U.S. Open. Not that that's like the end all be all, but like he's played this course. I know it was a U.S. Open condition. But
I mean, it was like a joke last year, but Rose was amazing in that U.S. Open and then won Pebble. Like that is definitely something to consider. I wish I was, you know, Rose should have been a bet last year. I'm still upset about that one. Never thought about him, but once the tournament started, I'm like, okay, Rose, he fucked at that U.S. Open. And but what I will say about Pebble, last 4 winners, without a doubt, their best ability are their iron play. Like 4 premier iron players: Rose, Hoagie, Berger, and who else?
What were you? Which
last
year?
4 winners: Rose, Hoagie, Berger. And then who won the year before?
Didn't Spieth win wasn't Spieth like?
No, that was like 2017. Well, it doesn't matter. Really good iron players win here. I'm targeting really good iron players. Hovland, I think he's going to take a little bit of time to get going. He's only played once this year. I do like that he's played this event, but I'm not going to bet him at 12-1. I think he'll play well, but I think, you know, had a really good end to the year, like best player in the world. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get back in that rhythm. And I don't think he wins until after major season. I don't think he gets a win until Augusta or after. That is my take on Hovland. Xander, I like Xander. Like, there's nothing to dislike Xander. If he finishes worse than T8, he should be embarrassed.
Yeah, I never bet Xander. Like, I don't think I've never. I play him in DFS sometimes, but I let Xander beat me. And in my lifetime of betting on golf, that's been a pretty fine strategy. I'm up on not betting Xander.
Yeah.
So I'll Vic lap that. But no, he's going to top 10, right? Like he'll finish 10th and
lock.
That's
mortgage.
I like him for 1 and done this week because it's a big purse. I know he's not going to totally flop. He's going to like never have a chance to win. And then he's going to like backdoor top 10 on Sunday. Like he always fucking does. But I don't not like him. First of all, I'd never bet Xander. Second of all, to bet him at 12-1, I think is insane.
I kind of agree. But I think books are just like, you know, they're not going to let you get a good number on him because he's playing excellent right now. 3 really good starts to the year. And he's good at golf. He has no weaknesses. I trust him on POA. Fucked at the U.S. Open.
Callaghan.
I like Xander this week. Like
He's our current 1-and-done pick. I'm like,
yeah. So I don't want to give it out to everybody, but I think we're gonna roll with him on 1-and-done. That was bad leverage.
Fuck.
So I bet Max home at 20-1. I've bet him for the first 2 events to start the year. I don't think I can really hop off now at this point, but a shout out Ben Coley. He kind of talked about, if you look at the winners of elevated events last year, they're all people that normally would play the event. Max has played this. I know he didn't play it the last 2 years, but he played it a lot earlier in his career and has a lot of good finishes on it. I'm more just kind of high on Max this year. I think he's going to contend in a major. I think he's going to win an elevated event. I think he'll win twice. I think he's an extremely talented golfer. I think he makes a leap. I'll bet him at Pebble. I'll bet him at a place he played well at. I'll bet the best Pebble putter in the field that actually has win equity. I just think it's kind of happening. And over Cantley or Spieth, he wins more than them, and he has arguably just as good a course history. So that's why it was easy for me to pick Homa over Cantley and Spieth and Morikawa this week.
Love it. That's a great bet. It's a great sell. I didn't bet Homa. I missed the 20-1, but I think it's a very sharp play. I think he just generally does well in the state of California. I think we followed him last week because we had him for 1-and-done.
No, it doesn't count because he was defending champ. If you don't play that great as a defending champ, it adds like 3-4 strokes to your game.
Yeah. I was saying from the perspective of he finished T13, didn't play well, right? So now he's going to another good course. I'm high on Max too this year. I think he's ready to make that leap. I hope it's at the majors, but I know for a fact he can win a tournament like this. So I totally get the Max play. I kind of hesitated at the top of the board a little bit this week. So because my first bet was a little further down. So the first bet I made at the top, just to transition, is JT.
Yeah, give me what's the JT sell? Because I might be in.
I'm not a JT guy. That's another one.
Neither am I.
I think that I was pretty I faded JT the majority. I was very vocal about it. I didn't think he should have been picked for the Ryder Cup. Not because he's not a better golfer than Keegan.
We just needed Lucas Glover there.
We needed Keegan or Lucas Glover, and we win the Ryder Cup 10 times out of 10 in Europe.
10 times out of 10.
10 times out of 10. So I who was I still? JT. Yeah, I'm not generally a JT guy. I didn't think he played that great at the Ryder Cup, if good at all. I've been watching him very closely because I kind of like to dunk on JT too. Especially because he got chosen.
He's kind of a bitch.
He is. Respectfully, if he's listening. So, but the case is it's not that complicated for me. The case for me is he's got 4 straight top 5. So it's hard for me to now say JT's not playing well. He's moved past the JT sucks. He also, what I didn't know until later in this year, and I'm sure you knew it because you're a golf sicko. I'm a golf sicko. I probably should have known this. He's a gluten-free guy, and he changed his diet to be
strokes and carbs.
But no, he was eating stuff that he was allergic to, and his body wasn't reacting and then he wasn't playing well. So and then he stopped doing that. After this year, I saw this big article about it, but it kind of it makes sense a little bit as to why there was such a massive dip last year. On top of the fact that he's a bitch, but he really has all the tools in the shed to me, other than the driver and the putter at times. And this is a less than driver course, which he's had a lot of success at in his career. Somewhat of a wedge fest. Still think JT's the top 5 wedge player in the world.
Yeah.
Unbelievable around the greens, which I think is important here. I think guys will be missing greens, even though there's a higher green and regulation percentage, very small greens. So there will be guys missing greens, and it's not always it's kind of lie dependent, which is I think somewhat you're getting lucky. So I like that JT has unbelievable around the green game. And I think my big selling point was, I think if he played this tournament before and he top 10 this tournament, that he would be the most popular bet this week. So
yeah, that's my only hesitation, which I actually bet JT. You didn't have to sell me on him. I bet
Okay.
him on. But yeah, he's at a bet. He's at 25-1. He's at a better number than Morikawa, Spieth, Cantlay, and Homa, and he's arguably in better form.
Yeah.
And he is a 2-time major champ, and he has 15 plus PGA Tour win. So I think there's actually value on JT because you're getting 5 points higher than Spieth and Cantlay, who have Spieth's been in decent form and they have the history here, but I don't think it's going to play that much of an event. I think that unfortunately, if we bet JT this week, we're going to have to be in next week at Waste and maybe next week at Jenny. So that's tough for me, knowing that I probably have to ride this out because he's trending towards a win. He knows it. He wants to get back in the winner's circle, and I trust him to. I genuinely trust him to get a win early this year. So I bet him at 25-1.
Yeah, I did as well. So that was where I started my car. My FOMO at the top is Spieth. Spieth makes so much sense. This is like he's incredible here. He's playing well.
Yeah,
and he
doesn't always play well.
This is never a reason not to bet the guy, but it's rarely this obvious, right? It's rarely like Spieth is like got the best course history. He's playing well. Like he's he's like a consensus big pick. When Spieth is like chalky, I can see it going to shit sometimes. So
yeah, I think he's playing well. I think it'll be good for golf if he's in it. I do
too. I hope he
I don't hate I kind of agree that I don't. He's 12-1 on Caesars. So
what?
They just they know something, dude. They fucking know something.
Right. 20 now on FanDuel still.
Yeah. No, I'm just good on that. So Tommy Fleetwood did this like YouTube video. I just want to be honest with my viewers. Tommy Fleetwood did this YouTube video with Rick Shields or with like Grant Horvat, and I watched him like Tommy at Pebble. I was like, just Tommy at Pebble. Just give me Tommy.
How long ago was this? Because you've been kind of beating this drum for like
a week and a half ago.
Okay.
It was before tour. And I was like, yo, like that's a good spot for Tommy. But genuinely, this is, really, like I said, got to be a really, really good iron player. You don't have to be the longest player in the world. Good short game, good wind player, difficult conditions. It all speaks Tommy. He was slammed on Bookmaker, got a lot of action on Bookmaker, which I like to see. Will he win? No. Does he have any chance to win? No. Will he possibly finish T38? Yes. I'm in, though. I'm in at 40-1. Like, I don't care. He won't win, but I like the course for him. I'll bet a top 5 with him. Gain strokes putting at the U.S. Open. It's fucking Tommy Fleetwood. Like, let's just do it. Also, Nick Taylor won here and the Canadian Open. Tommy Fleetwood lost in a playoff to Nick Taylor. Factor that into your model.
He transitive property. He wins this tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, like Tommy makes sense to me. I mean, Tommy doesn't like. He's another guy who just like it's hard to like say a course isn't a good fit for Tommy because there's not a whole lot he doesn't do well other than like close the deal. Sadly, I'm a big Tommy guy.
He's a winner. Fucking won a Pro-Am.
And he just won in Dubai, right?
Yeah, it was a Pro-Am, and Rory literally let him win. What more could you want?
Dude, the Rory hook, Rory let
him win. Trade.
No, but the announcer was like I don't know if you saw this clip. I'm sure you did, but the announcer like before Rory choked it, it's a par 5. He's going up, and the announcer, the European announcer, is literally like, "Oh my god, like Rory McIlroy's about to unload on this drive," and just duck hooks it directly into the water. It was just like a great like bit of television because the guy was like, "Oh, like he's gonna absolutely nuke this." He literally couldn't have hooked it harder into the ocean.
Rory's driver's off. He can't win this week.
Okay, fair. I agree. But I'm still. He's a DFS play for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like can't win DFS play though.
No, he might win, but probably won't win.
He won't win. He won't win. He will not win.
Leverage.
Is he low owned?
He will. Like for Rory McIlroy, he's going to be low owned.
Oh no! I'm talking about Tommy.
Oh, Tommy. Let's see.
Yeah, what do you have him at?
I said we could do a single entry this week. That would be fun.
I'm down. I'm down.
Right.
Rip one.
Wow. Wait. This can't be right.
He's 87%.
Oh, I normally check two sites before I make any actual decisions, and these two sites that I pay for both kind of fucking suck. So, and I haven't checked the third one that's actually good. Fleetwood is like 80 something. He's like, dude, he's like higher than like I see him 13 one place, 15 the other.
Okay.
Big math. My big mathematical brain is telling me that the average of 13 and 15 is 14. So let's call it 14.
I'm fine with a 14% Tommy Fleetwood. Like he could do some damage at 14.
I just don't like. I don't get. Like, I mean, like, I hope he does well. It just doesn't make like. I thought he'd be lower on, but what do I know? 86.
So you bet another European loser. I don't know if you call Fitz a loser.
He kind of is. Both of his wins don't count.
Nope.
Because the U.S. Open was at the course he won the U.S. Amateur at. Doesn't count.
Zal won.
What? And Zal should have won. And then his win at RBC, he's been going there his whole life. So he knew the course. He knew the course better than everybody else does. It was unfair. It wasn't a fair fight. So
I will say Fitz could win.
I think he could.
I'm not going to bet him. He could win though.
So I think if it plays tough, like, and it's funny because like I made this bet at the beginning of the week, and I like Fitz either way. Like, I mean, I prefer him if this winning score is lower, like I like lower in the sense that it's like -13 to -15 and not like -20, which I didn't think was a possibility. And now I'm starting to think like maybe it's not going to be as bad as people think. But the cold and rain should, I think, keep the score lower than it's been the past few years. But yeah, I mean, he like the people like say like this is a less than driver course. He's good on less than driver courses. You know, I've heard some people float Heritage as a comp course. I think it's somewhat comparable. I actually know Heritage really well because I go there every year. So I'm not.
They're both on the coast.
What?
They're both on the coast.
They're both on the coast. You know me, I'm a big coast guy. There's some similarities in Harbour Town. I don't think it's as comparable as people think, but there are some similarities, and I just kind of like him on these sort of plotters courses. And he doesn't necessarily have like, he just like kind of does everything well for the most part. His irons are hit or miss, and it's really going to come down to that. But 40-1 seemed like a good number. He's got good course history here. Again, this is like something I was looking at the beginning of the week, and the weather looked way worse. And I was like, oh, Fitz is going to fuck so hard here. Now I'm looking at it, and it's like, yeah, he's going to fuck here, but like, just not as confident as I was at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, I don't know if he's good enough iron player. But I could like Fitz is a guy. He's either, he has the stones to win.
Yeah.
But he also, I wouldn't be surprised if he just has a completely average T34 finish.
I do like it. Like Sunday looks like shit. And if they do send him out Sunday and like Fitz is in contention Sunday, I know this is a lot of if statements. Like I like that. Just like I like that for your Tommy bet. Like if Tommy's in it, like Saturday, like if Tommy finishes like well Saturday and then Sunday looks like shit, like I think that both those guys fare really well. So I like it. I like them both from that perspective. Tommy's like last start was the win, right? Like as well.
No, I think he probably played in the event Rory won. So that's good. He can't. It's not back to back starts.
The one right at you're right. No, but he played really well in that event too. So like I was just saying, he did. I know for a fact he top 10'd it. I'm like 95% sure. There's 5%.
He was playing against Plumbers and Firemen, but it's fine.
But yeah. So I guess that means nothing. But yeah, no, like I just think he's been playing well. We've been saying that for a long time with him. I hope it pops off. I hope it does.
Yeah, I prefer Tommy. Neither will win, but I prefer Tommy. So I personally think Ben An is a bad outright bet this week. And I don't even think that because of the number. I just genuinely don't. There are certain guys that are losers. There are certain guys that have 0 PGA Tour wins for a reason. And when one of those person like has a really close, should have won, top 2, have a 4-footer to think you're going to win, and you don't win, you're not going to win your next start after that. Ben An does not have the stones to win after his closest chance at the PGA Tour win in his very next start. He does not. And he's at a horrible number. Normally, if you're riding a guy that's a fringe guy and you have him close, you want to be on him for his win. It's not happening this week. It is not happening this week. I don't want to go as to say he's not going to play well, but I think he will be a disappointment this week, and I wouldn't wager on him in any regard.
Yeah, I like numbers aside, I thought he was a good candidate for this week. I agree with everything you're saying. I think he's made somewhat of a turn with the putter on back in the day, and it's going to be hit or miss with that fucking broomstick, as you could see by the fact that he ripped our hearts out on. Because I was on as well the week.
You had him?
I did. Not that fucking matters, apparently. I mean, that was like that one. You know, like a lot of times, like I'll just be like, oh, like it was good to have a guy in the mix. That one hurt.
I don't know, because he kind of charged up on Sunday. It wasn't like he
dude, he had a 5-footer and Murray had a 50-footer for birdie.
I understand, but like to get up to that point,
I do get what you're saying. I do get
yeah, I mean, again, I said like I'm belaboring the point, but he blew the tournament on Saturday afternoon when he made bogey chipping for eagle. But I'm over it. Thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry. Let's move on. No, I do agree. I just like it's the type of thing like if Ben wins at 35-40-1, like so fucking be it. Like
he won't. I guarantee he will.
No, yeah.
He won't. Don't even worry about it.
I'm scared, but like just because like the books are scared of fucking.
They probably just know he's gonna finish like T17 or something.
Yeah.
But no, I would generally if he had one PGA Tour win, I would be on him this week, 100%. If he won like the Memorial or the fucking Zurich in 2015 where he lost in a playoff, I'm on him this week. So I never do this. I cashed out Poston. I had a Poston 70. I cashed it out. Like, again, Poston's, I invented him. He's my fucking guy. I don't see him winning in California. I think he had his chances to play well. Sony Amex, I think those were two really good spots for him. He struggles on random 4-footers, and for whatever fucking reason, and I just think Poe will get him a little bit too tripped up. I don't think he's a mutter. I cash it out. He's kind of have to be on Poston, but I don't think he's gonna win, so I'm not gonna bet him, and I want to bet JT. But pray for me if Poston's in contention, because that would be upsetting to me. If he won, I would be actually really upset. I'd probably cry.
I'm here for you. Text it out. Call me, FaceTime me, whatever's needed. If that happens, I'm willing to get you through that. That would suck. I don't know if I ever told you the war. I've done that like one time and I never did it again because.
And they won.
Yeah, no, like that. It was Rom. I was single bullet Rom at Torrey Pines the year he won, or betting. And like looking back on it, it's like you are such a fucking idiot. I bet Louis and like two other losers. Louis almost won.
Yeah.
And then didn't win. And like Rom won in such an emphatic way with like the finish he had, as everybody knows, from like that's one of the best US Open finishes of recent life that I can remember. I thought that was an incredible US Open. Yeah, that was my one like cash out. That was
I never cash out. You never should cash out a bet, because it makes that you're like, I'm way less like scared of a cash out when you're comparing like JT Poston cash out to like John Rahm. I was basically like, do I bet Poston and a bunch of losers at 100-1 or JT? And it's just like, dude, just pick the win. Like those guys are not going to win. They're not going to win. If I bet fucking Brendan Todd and fucking Hadwin, I like both of those. They're not going to win. So it's whatever. I trust JT more, but I have 2 first-round leader guys.
Let's hear them.
I don't know. Tee time should be posted in like 15 minutes. No win, nothing. Eric Cole, Bo Hostler. Love both of them first-round leader. I really like Cole first-round leader. Bo Hostler first-round leader. If it doesn't hit, I would be surprised.
Okay. I am 1,000,000% in on Cole.
First-round leader.
I will ride Hostler with you if you really want me to. I'm just not a Bo guy.
No, he sucks. He's a loser. I wouldn't bet him out, right? Like
He's like playing well though. I like openly was like Bo Hostler sucks last week. I was like, you Bo Hostler people like make me sick, and then he finished like 6th. So eat shit, Kyle. But yeah, for a first round leader, it makes sense. Like he doesn't have to hit a lot of long. Like he's a shit iron player. You're not asking. Like it's not a course. Oh my god, he's like if you looked at you're like look at the stats afterwards, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, like he's one of those guys who drives the ball incredibly well and he putts incredibly well. And like if you look at his iron,
and he fucks on Poa.
And he fucks on Poa. He rarely, maybe recently, but like rarely in his lifetime gains strokes on approach. And when he finishes highly, it's typically because his putter carries him. He's like,
but Bo's a first round leader guy. He has the course history. He's playing well. He can't win. Bo Hostler, first round leader. Has it. Cole, I like him too. I like Cole, first round leader. I think Tora was a bad fit for him. I think this is a good fit for him. Loser, can't win. I'm in. Cole, if Cole starts on, he's played Spyglass. But I would prefer Cole on Pebble.
I think I'm gonna bet Malnati. I'm not even joking. Like I might bet him first round leader. In whichever side of the tournament he's on, just to be a fucking asshole. And then I'm gonna ride the other ones that.
Okay. We gotta run some models. But Windy C, no, I'm out. He's not the golfer he was. Bet between Andy and I. He's on him. I think he sucks. The boy, I love him. Like, go listen to him on Colts Pod. Awesome. Like, would love to kill some beers with him.
He told a great joke on. It's too long of a joke to tell here, but it's like it was a very well told joke when he like played with the foreplay guys.
Yeah, no, he's just a very chill dude, but he peaked. He's not the same golfer. It'll take him a little bit to get back to that, but he'll take some time to get back into it. I'm surprised Thiegs isn't way more popular. I love Thiegs this week.
My favorite.
Why not Thiegs?
My favorite.
Like you don't have. It's not an elite driving course. Like it's kind of a shorter course. You could get away with some things off the tee. He's an elite iron player. He can putt on Poa. Great short game. Due to win an elevated event, has played here. He's aided when he almost won Century. He played decent last week. Do you know what he finished offhand?
I don't, but he was like fighting to make the cut and had like
he did.
And he had a ridiculous finish to make the cut. And I think he finished like top 40, I want to say.
No, 264. I don't care. This is a good course for him.
He must have had a horrible Sunday then.
Yeah, like it's +1. But still, 80-1. I don't know. This is a guy who could win. He could win in California. He almost won this year. I love things this week.
I think it's my favorite bet this week. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I'm not like I was using the Cam Young like number as an example. In what world should Cam Young be 40-1 and Sahith Theegala be 80-1? It's just insane to me. Like Sahith also, I think John, he was on Andy's podcast this week, right? John, Reach out. What was the thing he said?
You like him on Spieth courses?
Yes, that's what he said. And I do agree with that. So like Spieth good at Augusta, Sahith 1-star at Augusta, top 10. Spieth good at Heritage, Sahith 1-star at Heritage, which you would not think is a good course for Sahith, by the way.
I had him. That week.
Top 5. Travelers, another course, like not a course you'd think Sahith is good at. Had a big finish there. Probably should have won. Strokes gained, like unlucky lie in the bunker. Negative strokes gained, unlucky lie in the bunker. I just think he does everything well other than hit the ball off the tee. It's a less than driver course. It's pretty wide open off the tee. And I think that there's not that like the rough isn't that penal here. Around the green, like guys who are good creativity. Phil's another example, right? Phil kind of reminds me of Sahith, not saying they're like in the same, realm of kind of talent yet, but like Phil and Sahith's game, like a guy who just mashes the ball off the tee, doesn't care where it goes, and just kind of figures it out from there. And it's like unbelievably creative around the greens. It's just like, he reminds me of Phil. He reminds me of Spieth. They both have good history here. I think Sahith, you talked about Homa before. I think Sahith could be a guy that win, and you said this as well. I think he could win a legit fucking event this year, like a big time event this year. And I don't, why not this week? So I'm totally in. I think that's I literally think it's a horrible number. Like I genuinely don't get it. So normally that's like not like normally at the, like, you know, who knows what that means, but that was a number I saw this morning or whenever I bet it. And I was like, I have
you
to
just
bet.
Pounded it like bonus bet.
Pounded.
Yeah, no, I you know, will he win? Probably not, but I do like it.
But you know, like long shots, like you normally bet, like you don't I feel like I'm like 80-1 for Sahith. Like we joke like this guy has no chance to win. Like I actually think Sahith at 80-1, like
I agree.
Has a chance.
I agree. Longer shots, you know, not being on Kevin Yu first round leader last week was tough. Was very tough. For me, stupidly, just put no effort into my first round leader plays. Immediately texted RK. He's like, Kevin Yu. I'm like, I should bet Kevin Yu. And I swear to God, I was gonna put fucking $20 into FanDuel and bet him, and I didn't. Those are always, anytime you're kind of on the edge, no, they always hit. They always hit. And yet I've placed thousands of losers in my life. So that sucks. Kevin Yu, my boss, walks in the office. I need a bet this week. Who do you like this week? He thinks outrights are dumb. Like anytime I walk in, I'm like, I had the word. He's like, should have just bet on top 5. They just bet on top 5. You're not going to pick the winner. So I told him, Kevin Yu, top 20 plus 300 mortgage. Okay. Absolute mortgage play. Kevin Yu could win this week. Kevin Yu can win this week given the circumstance on the PGA Tour. 110-1. Played well at Pebble last year. Top 10s in his last 2 starts. Elite ball striker. Good POA putter. He is a POA guy. He's a West Coast guy. He's not going to be first round in 2 weeks in a while, unfortunately. Kevin Yu, top 20, is a mortgage. It's a mortgage. I
bet him outright.
Even top 40. Even top 40 is probably like plus 140.
Yeah,
that might be a bankroll builder.
Dude, that might be a good like parlay builder too. Like, but what was I gonna say? It's 80-person field as well, so top 40 plus money. Like that's, you know, and it's
that might not be real, but if he's plus 300 for a top 20, why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, I bet him outright. You made the joke about this. This was another guy. It's like we joke. I'm like, I'm kind of upset about him. I like this guy is way more my guy than Pavon, but like you on your podcast, which I thought was so funny. Like after this guy won, we're like, how did more people not bet this? This was the most obvious 100-1 winner. Who was it? Who am I talking about?
Camille?
Yes. This seems. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the you bet.
Yeah.
It seems very much like the Camilo situation. It's like, why? Like this guy is literally striping the ball. Okay, look how he played here. The one time he played here, top 10, like done. Like okay, 120-1. I'm
fucking Kevin Yu.
Kevin Yu.
And like winning the Bermuda,
you've invented a lot of people. I was on Kevin Yu like before Kevin Yu was even like before Kevin Yu even knew he was Kevin Yu. You know what I mean?
I bet him. I think I bet him top 20 at this event last year. That was my first introduction.
He was good. He got injured and he had a good start to his season last year.
Yeah,
he was just kind of a ball striking machine.
And he died.
He got hurt, and then he came back, and he was like dog shit for a while, and he seems to have found something in the past couple of weeks. So,
I would be surprised if he doesn't win.
I agree. I told RK, who I appreciate you making the introduction. RK is a great guy. I told him he's one of the sharpest first round leader minds in the golf industry. He's also on you this week. And he told me I might put $50,000 on Kevin Yu this week. So
no, I don't disagree. I never do this, but I might nuke him top 30. And I never do stuff. I never bet like hundreds of dollars on someone on like a lock to finish in a placement. But I feel strongly about it this week. I probably won't just because it's not my vibe. But that might be a bankroll builder for me. I wish if I fucking hit an outright this year, I would absolutely just fucking pound him top 30 plus 105 on bet 365. But I'm not going to do that. I don't think. Todd, I like a first round leader. I think Todd first round leader is a good play. I like Hadwin first round leader. He's playing well. I don't
He's
see
playing
why he
really
could.
well, dude.
Yeah, Hadwin. He's like a loser I would have bet if I didn't bet JT. I like Hadwin top 20. I like Todd top 20. I like Monty top 20.
I don't not like Monty either. There's a lot like another one that a guy that I'm surprised. I mean, I didn't bet him, so it's like, why am I saying like I'm surprised like other people didn't bet him? I'm surprised Denny at 90-1 with his course history isn't as much love, and I think it's a great first round leader bet, Denny.
Fuck, I'm in. Can't win. Can play well.
He's finished top 5 here or top 10 here twice, top 5 here once, I think. I think 3 top 25s. So he's got some history.
Done. First round leader. Done.
I think it's a good first round leader bet, but he's also like a guy that's like normally really like popular in our world, I feel like. So I was surprised if he was a guy that just like seemed to make a lot of sense to me.
Shorter course play. Yeah, it's a good bet. Dude, you have room for him. Bet him outright. Yeah, I
might. I might just slam first round, or maybe I'll just do both. But we'll see. I do have room for one more guy. I did make one more bet though.
What was it? Oh, Kurt. Did no chance. I'm out.
I think it's a good spot for him. I don't disagree that he doesn't have a chance to win. Like he might not have a chance to win. I'm okay.
You're willing to admit that.
I'm willing to admit he might have a chance to win, but he has won a big dick event at a very tough golf course. He has good course history here. He was leader. He was like in second place through 3 rounds last year and got absolutely chewed up and spit out by the wind, which is like looking at
Hub's also first round leader.
Ooh, I like Hub's like gained the most.
And he liked my tweet.
Oh, okay, then done. I'm in on.
We might have too many guys.
No, but I'm in on Hubs, Cole, and Denny. And then was there any other? You said
Hubs, Cole, Denny, Hadwin, maybe.
Hadwin, maybe. You said Montgomery, maybe.
And Bo. Bo has to be on the first round card.
All right, I'll do Bo. I'll kill off Montgomery because you seem.
No, he was already first round. He was almost first round leader.
I had that as well. I had that bet, and that was another one that one hurt as well. But whatever. Process is processing, as we like to say. The process, it could not be in a better spot than it's been right now, without hitting a single outright yet this year. I did have Sahith first round leader.
You did. Nice. I should have been on that.
Had a nice end of the year last year, so I can't be too greedy. Yeah, that was one. I think Kurt could also be first round leader here, but I don't know. Like I don't know. Whatever. That's myself or Kurt. I don't know. Whatever.
You just have a gut feel on him. Were you upset when he won? Were you upset when he won API? Should you have been on him?
No.
You weren't like riding him.
No. The most robbed I felt last year. Not that you asked this question, but we talked about this guy winning this tournament. Was I had Bobby Mack at the Scottish Open.
Yeah. And that fuckface loser Rory.
Fucking Rory hits the literal.
Isn't that crazy though? That like he doesn't have that many wins in the past 3 years, and 3 of them were the first event he played before major. Like that's crazy. Like that's genuinely insane. And
we have to bet him then.
Yes. Before the Masters, he'll win Valero.
If
Rory wins the Valero Texas Open, he should retire from that. And I mean that. That is a genuine.
He's playing Honda this year too, or not Honda, whatever the Cosmo.
He could win Honda, yeah, whatever.
Classic.
Do you know? This is not a joke. Do you know who won Liv Mayakoba last year?
Oof.
Because I can't fucking find it.
Oof.
Oh, Charles Howell.
Okay,
Chucky 3 Sticks won.
Not what I was going to guess.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think you're right as well. I just that.
Do you have any early leans for Liv Koba?
Haven't looked at the odds board for Liv Kobe yet. One of my favorite people, who I hope is listening, Ryan Baroff, who is just an overall good guy, incredibly sharp golf mind.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people to just shoot the shit with. I think he's an absolute character.
2 times should be out, by the way.
Oh, okay. He told me Matthias Bassard in the event over in DP World Tour. He's 220 to 1. Ryan gave me a sell. My short version sell is he played on the same golf team as ADDC, supposed to be pretty good, hits the ball far. Thomas Peters thinks he's good, and he's boys with Dietrich. So he's like friends with all the guys who like can't win golf tournaments. So he's gonna win this DP World Tour event at 220 to 1. Are tee times out?
No, they're not. I mean, last year they came out at 9. I'm just curious as to where they are. I'll DM my comms guy and see what's up. But we really need. I'm very excited to bet first round leaders this week, and I feel like good about the card.
Dude, I like the ones we just talked about. I think I'm like every single one of them. There's
no way we don't win, but we have to consult with RK.
He's hot. He's on a heater right now. Are they there? Are they? Will it be? I think it will be. It'll be separate course ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm hoping all those guys aren't on one course.
Oh, that would suck.
And there's less people, so the odds are going to suck. We could probably only bet like 2 from a course.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
I like all the names we just said, which was like.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, again, we just got to see when it comes out. But good tip. Thanks for coming on. Need a winner this week.
Before I'll give you the winner, but I wanted one more thing. Yeah. Super Bowl. Who do you?
I like the Niners.
You like the Niners?
I think it's hard to beat a team in a Super Bowl twice in a short amount of time.
Okay.
I like the Niners.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win again.
I mean, there's no reason not to bet the Chiefs.
Yeah, so I just that Mahomes guy, he's a fucking freak of nature. So
he's good at football.
He is a football.
You would go on the record and say he's good at football.
Yeah, but he's not as valuable to his team as John Rahm is to the Legion 13.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped to see their debut. Legion 13, I think they're going to come out real hot this year. And I'll check up on Liv this week. Might throw a couple small wagers in. But I'm
a big. I like the Spanish guy with not Puig. No, the other young guy from Spain. He won an event last year. He's actually really good. He's like 22. He was really high amateur. He's got like a hyphenated last name. It's like Eugene something. Like Chikara. Like he's actually really good. I like him.
You're in on him.
Yeah, if he's got a good line, I might bet him. I know nothing about like how his course fit is or anything. I just like him. Like
you don't know Liv Cobes?
I played him a lot in DFS Live last year. Which just goes.
Yeah, you should go to Gamblers Anonymous if you're playing Live DFS, but it's fine. It's all good. We'll see everyone next week. Waste Management, gonna have Adam on. And I'm hoping to get through all the holes this week. I'm very much looking forward to the golf, and I think it will be a fun week on the PGA Tour. So I appreciate you coming on, Kyle.
Anytime, sir. Anytime.
All right, we'll see everyone next week. Hope everyone has a good night. First round leader guaranteed winner this week. We'll have it for you. That is for certain.
Always.